If you feel stressed and it seems hard to tone it down, it may not be just in your head. It could be in your body, getting stuck in the stress mode. Most people don't really appreciate how quickly stress damage can add up in your body and in your mind. The problem isn't that we experience stress. The problem is that we have trouble switching efficiently from sympathetic stress mode back into recovery parasympathetic mode. The goal is not to eliminate all stress. That's impossible. Life is hard. The goal is to build a body response that can actually handle the stress. So I'm going to walk you through 4 simple ways that you can shut down stress, starting with a single nerve in your body that you can influence. Are you ready? Let's go. Stress is a completely normal biological response, physiological response. Your body is hardwired to deal with stress, turn on its defenses, deal with whatever triggered the stress, and then turn it off. The problem comes when stress is continuous, unrelenting, and smothering. That's the kind of stress that can damage your health long term, both your mental health and your physical health. Now, here's the thing. Most people don't really appreciate how quickly stress damage can add up in your body and in your mind. So to understand how you can control your own stress, it's first helpful to know how your body is hardwired naturally to handle it. Okay? So you have 2 major body systems that regulate your stress response. The first system is called the sympathetic nervous system. This is what we sometimes call the fight or flight system. You know, this is sort of in prehistoric times, you're dealing with a threat, saber-toothed tiger. So what happens? Your sympathetic system activates. It increases your heart rate, sharpens your focus, and prepares your body to respond to challenges, either by fighting or by running. That's sympathetic. The other system is really just the opposite. It's called the parasympathetic system. It counters the sympathetic system. Parasympathetic is your rest and recovery system. It slows your heart rate, just the opposite of sympathetic. It lowers the release of stress hormone. And the parasympathetic system allows your body to repair itself and to restore. Now, both systems are essential for your health and your well-being. Every single day, you got to deal with something that's going to be stressful, and you got to bounce back. That's resilience, right? So you're going to need your stress response to perform. You don't have to be a pianist or an ice skater, but just to be able to get something done, that's performance. It's going to cause a little bit of stress, but once you get it done, you're going to need to recover in order to stay healthy. So the problem isn't that we experience stress. The problem is that we have trouble switching efficiently from sympathetic stress mode back into recovery parasympathetic mode. And over time, you want to be balanced on this. And if you can't keep these 2 systems balanced, sympathetic and parasympathetic, that will start to wear down your body. So I'm going to walk you through 4 simple ways that you can shut down stress, starting with a single nerve in your body that you can influence. And that nerve is called the vagus nerve. Then I'm going to tell you about a breathing technique that works literally to help you de-stress in seconds. And then I'm going to show you how to use body movement to clear stress from your body. And then finally, guess what? There are 3 teas that you can drink to support your nervous system health. Are you ready? Let's go. So let's start with a system that controls recovery from stress. There's a nerve that actually helps to do that. And that nerve that helps you recover from stress is called the vagus nerve, V-A-G-U-S, vagus nerve. It's one of the largest nerves in your body. Comes from your brain. It connects your brain to your heart, to your lungs, to your gut, and then in your gut it ramifies like a horse's tail and actually helps to influence and is influenced by your gut microbiome, your healthy gut bacteria. So vagus nerve plays a key role in activating your parasympathetic nervous system, your calm down, rest and relax response that you want. Whenever you trigger the vagus nerve, engage the vagus nerve, your heart rate is going to slow down. Your stress hormone release is going to decrease, and your body is going to shift from stress mode, fight or flight, into repair and recovery mode. What's cool is that you can activate your vagus nerve very intentionally. Want to know how to do this? You can do it by breathing, by extending your exhalation. That's your breath out. Or by humming. Humming actually activates your vagus nerve. And by singing. I'm not going to sing for you. All right. And if you're by the sink, even splashing cold water on your face, guess what? That activates your vagus nerve as well. Slows your heart rate down. It tells your body, these things tell your body to come out of stress mode. Now, here's the reality. In the moments that you're stressed, most people don't stop and think, I should breathe slower or activate my vagus nerve. You're probably already overwhelmed, and that's where taking a structured approach can make a difference. There are ways to directly stimulate your vagus nerve using controlled signals that apply externally along the nerve itself, right on your neck. Devices like Pulsetto are designed for exactly that. So instead of trying to remember techniques in the moment that you're feeling stressed, you can give your body more direct and consistent cues to shift out of stress mode. And what makes this useful is not just the science, because that science is real. It's how practical it is. Look at this. You can use it at the end of the day when you're trying to wind down, or in moments when you're feeling your stress building, or if you just want to interrupt that stress cycle with something that is very, very practical to do. So if you're dealing with stress regularly, having a tool like this can make it much easier to activate your calm down, de-stress parasympathetic system through the vagus nerve. You can learn more about Pulsetto in the link below. Whether you're using structured stimulation or simple body signals, you're working with the same system. So let's go deeper into one of the fastest ways to activate your vagus nerve, and that's by breathing. You've probably heard the old saying when somebody is super stressed out, people say, breathe, just breathe. Well, it turns out that actually works. Breathing is one of the fastest ways to influence your parasympathetic system. And here's one technique. It's called physiological sigh. And here's how it works. You take a deep inhale through your nose, and then you follow by a second extra short inhale, then a long, slow exhale. And when you do that, you can feel that calming effect almost immediately. So let's do it again, all right? Take a deep breath in through your nose. Top it off with a second inhale. Slowly exhale. If you do that a few times, you can already feel a shift in the tension in your body. Now, there's a couple of other little tricks you can actually use to do this. There's something called extended exhale breathing. That's where you inhale for about 4 seconds, but then you exhale for 8 seconds. So twice as long as you're inhaling, right? Inhale for 4 seconds. Exhale for 8 seconds. Okay. Now you can also do this by slowing down your breathing. So rather than breathe fast, slow it down so you're only taking 5 or 6 breaths per minute. That's like 1 breath every 10 seconds. All right. You can do this, practice these little breathing techniques before you're going to have a difficult conversation with somebody, before you give a speech, for example, before you go on camera or make a video, or basically you're just lying in bed and you need to de-stress because your mind just won't turn off. These simple breathing exercises, that's a way to help to reset your nervous system, and it works. It really does. You should try it. Most people don't realize that they can actually control their stress response like this. And I want to let you in on something. This channel, my YouTube channel, is on the edge of a major milestone. 1 million subscribers. Every person who subscribes right now moves us closer to that. So if you've just learned something that you think is interesting or that you can actually use practically, be one of them. Hit the subscribe button and help me keep building the largest source of science-based health education on YouTube. Okay, stress doesn't affect your mind only, it builds up throughout your body. And so movement, exercise can help clear that load. So I want to talk a little bit about movement. There's 2 effective forms of physical stress release. One is called Zone 2 exercise. This is like brisk walking, all right? You can still hold a conversation, but barely. So you're actually walking at a pretty brisk clip. The second exercise that can actually help you de-stress is called controlled strength training. Now, these are slower, deliberate movements, all right? That can also help as well. And gentle movements like yoga or Pilates, especially when you pair it with breathing, will actually be super helpful. So you might say, well, what about actually working out? Doesn't just like physical exercise and working out help? Yes, it can, but here's what you need to know. High intensity workouts do have benefits, but they first add stress to your body before your body has to respond to lower and de-stress, all right? So if you're already overwhelmed, it's probably better to try to restore your balance first, okay? With some, like a brisk walk, breathing exercises, those kinds of things can help, rather than pushing yourself into the gym and just sort of thinking if you do more, you're gonna actually feel less, right? You wanna try to get balance first. So There's one more way to lower your stress response that people don't think about, and it has to do with something that you can consume. You want to know what that is? It's tea. You know, I've said a lot about green tea, and I think most people know that green tea is healthy, and that's because it contains bioactives called catechins, and also a substance, a bioactive called L-theanine. And L-theanine is a calming substance, calming chemical when you put it in your body. 1 cup of tea contains about 20 to 60 milligrams of L-theanine. So 1 cup actually provides a mild calming effect. Just 1 cup of green tea will do that. You drink 2 or 3 cups of green tea, that can create a noticeable sense of calm and better mental focus. And by the way, here's a little known fact. L-theanine found in tea, how does it work? It increases in your brain alpha brainwave activity. That is the same brainwave pattern that you actually see during meditation. So if you're drinking tea with theanine, you're activating your brain with the same patterns that actually you get with meditation. That's how meditative state by drinking green tea is actually another calming technique. Here's another tea you can drink, lavender tea. If you haven't ever seen fields of lavender, they're absolutely beautiful. You might have seen lavender little sachets you can crush and make your sock drawer smell really nice. But it turns out that lavender tea, lavender, contains a natural substance, a bioactive called linalool, Linalool. And guess what linalool does? It reduces stress signaling in your body. And lavender tea actually works through aroma as well. Even 1 cup of lavender tea can have a mild calming effect, and 1 to 2 cups of tea can help take the edge off of your stress. All right. So it turns out that smelling lavender can begin to reduce stress even before you had the first sip. All right. And here's another tea, chamomile. You probably heard of chamomile tea. Many people say drink some chamomile tea to get to sleep. Well, guess what? It actually works. Chamomile flowers actually contain a bioactive called apigenin. Turns out that 1 cup of chamomile tea provides a gentle calming effect, but 2 to 3 cups a day can support relaxation and better sleep. Okay? Now, how does this work? Apigenin actually interacts with the calming pathways in your brain, similar to the way that some medications do, but it does it much more gently. The point is that drinking tea doesn't actually overwhelm your system. It only gently nudges you in the right direction. Calmer, more relaxed, more ready to go to sleep. This is how de-stressing can add up. If you drink some tea every day, if you actually get some physical exercise, zone 2 exercise in every day, if you practice breathing exercises every day, that can actually help you over time de-stress in ways that are going to make a big difference in your life. So whenever you're feeling stressed, start with breathing. Breathe in 4 seconds, breathe out 8 seconds, or do that initial inhale, top it off, and then a slow, steady exhale. All right. You keep doing that, you're going to actually start to calm. It resets your nervous system almost immediately. You're activating your vagus nerve, and you're shifting your body back to rest and recovery. And don't forget, movement can help. So get your baseline back down, go for a brisk walk, okay, to the point that you can barely hold a conversation. So if you're walking by yourself, you'll know it. You just can barely talk. If you're walking with somebody else, you'll definitely know it. And then tea. Drink green tea during the day. Get a calm focus, all right? So if you don't want caffeine, drink it during the day. Lavender tea, if you're feeling some punchy times of real stress, have some lavender tea. Even the aroma will start to calm you down. And then in the evening before bedtime, drink some chamomile tea, all right? 2 to 3 cups. That'll help you wind down, relax, and get to sleep. When you combine all these approaches together, you are no longer a victim of stress. You are actually controlling how your body recovers from stress. That's a key thing. You're not avoiding stress, you're countering it, and you're getting your body to reset itself. Remember, the goal is not to eliminate all stress. That's impossible. Life is hard, all right? The goal is to build a body response that can actually handle the stress, and then actually want to be able to recover quickly. So these tips that I gave you are all about recovery, repair, and I want to tell you, this is actually how you build resilience against intense stress that doesn't let up. Before you go, just subscribe to this channel. Hit the subscribe button and help us get to 1 million subscribers. And if you know somebody who's dealing with stress, can't seem to get over it, struggling, please share this video with them. I think it'll be helpful. I will see you in the next video. Dr. Lee, out.